Welcome to Allenisms. Today we're going to talk about gamification. What is it? When should we use it? When shouldn't we? Gamification is applying the mechanics or structures that people use in games, particularly video and interactive games that have scoring, need to perform tasks, sometimes within a time limit, and make multiple decisions and take multiple steps in order to accomplish a goal, which is what real life is like. Oddly, games approach real, authentic activities that people are being trained for more than most training materials do. So this notion that we don't have time for our people to play games, we have to train them, doesn't really make sense. You don't really have time for people not to play games that are based on authentic simulations that give them the knowledge and the skills that are going to transfer pretty directly to their responsibilities. Why do we play games when we don't have to? Kind of an interesting question, because we don't take a lot of training programs when we don't need to, but we do play games when we don't need to. Well, why do we do that? Well, first of all, they're fun, right? And what does the fun come from? Well, it comes from developing skills. And the more we play games and the more we practice, the more rewarding those games are, because they confirm our abilities, and so they make us feel good at the same time that we are progressing. Games really have all of the really great components. Now, there are two kinds of gamification. There's intrinsic and extrinsic. In extrinsic, we have just a general format like Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune or something of that sort, where you can just plug any content in there that you want, and people basically answer questions right or wrong, and they get a score and they go on. That kind of gamification is not what we'd recommend in general, because people can focus so much more on the game than focus on the knowledge and skills that they're developing. What we want are intrinsic games. What's the difference? Well, in intrinsic games, people are performing tasks, often multi-step tasks, making multiple decisions, and getting feedback from the simulation showing, here are the consequences of what you did. Is that what you want? Are you getting where you want to go? Maybe we want to correct some of your decisions and move forward. This is the kind of learning that really transfers so directly to performance on the job. And so intrinsic is much more powerful than extrinsic. And if you've been following Allen interactions in any way, or the Allenisms, you're familiar with the CCAF model, the components of context, challenge, activity, and feedback, CCAF. Well, if you would look at video games, you would easily identify those very same components. So we strongly propose that wherever you can, an intrinsic gamification for your content is likely to pay off very handsomely, with learners volunteering to continue to practice, to continue to do better, to build not only skills and knowledge, but confidence in those skills and knowledge.